Hey guys, welcome back to AlgoYogi. We are doing two-pointer series. Our next and last easy problem in here is apply operations to an array. Let's go to LeetCode. So description is a little long, but not too difficult. So you are given a zero-indexed array, nums of size n consisting of non-negative integers. You need to apply n-1 operations to this array, where in ith operation you will apply the following on the element of that's present at ith in nums. So if ith element is equal to I plus 1th element, then multiply I by 2 and set I plus 1 to 0. Okay, makes sense. Otherwise skip this operation, and after you perform all these operations, then move all the zeros to the end. Kind of really simple. Okay, I think that's really simple. So now let's understand how we're going to do it. First thing first, we're gonna apply n-1 operations. We're gonna start iterating at ith element, since we will be updating ith element to ith element into 2 if it was equal to I plus 1th element. So we have this pointer pointing to the first element, and you check if this is equal to 2. That it is not. So let's, we will update nums only. We don't want to use any extra memory. We will use this only. So they are not equal, then it will be same. But then we'll check if 2 is equal to 2, then in this case they are. And just imagine we are just iterating over this using I don't want to write it again and again. So now they are, then you make 2 4. So 2 into 2 is 4. This 2 becomes 4. This 2 becomes 4, and this 2 becomes 0. So this will be 0. And then again is this 0 now in this operation. I think let's not mess with it. We will be performing the operations on the original array. So if this is equal to I think we'll be checking now if 0 is equal to 1, because we have already performed this operation. We're moving forward. So I think that was mentioned in the that was not mentioned, but it's self-understood that we are updating this from left to right and performing these operations, and we are again performing on the performed array and updated array. So this time 0 is not equal to 1. That means 0 will remain 0 and 1 will remain 1. But now these two are equal, so then in that case this will become 2 and this will become 0, and last one remains same. All right, now this is not the final answer. This needs to be turned into moving all the zeros to the back. So 1 4, move this 0. So what we will really do is have a pointer pointing, basically let's call it j, pointing in the beginning, and then we iterate over the entire array, and whenever we come across something non-zero, then we just place that onto jth position. So it's like 1 and I and j, they're pointing to the same. So let's just flip them because they're not equal to 0. So 1 remains intact, they both move over here. 4 remains intact. Now they're both pointing to 0. In that case only I moves, j remains over here, because now it will place 2 at this place. So we will swap these values. So 2 and 0 is placed over here, and then again the remaining zeros will remain intact. I think this is pretty simple. We have done problems like that earlier where you're trying to move zeros to the end, and I think you can do it another way also. If you just move every non-zero to the front, and whenever you end that, you came to the end of the array, so there will be some remaining zeros. So just fill in the remaining array with zeros after jth pointer. All right, let's write down our code. These are easy problems, so I'm just not gonna try to spend too much time here. So we will have let's perform the operations first. So for I in range len nums, and I think we only need to go one index before the last element, because we are checking if it is equal to the next element. If we were at the last element, we don't have anything to check, and we don't even want to do anything or any operation on the last element because there's nothing to compare it with. So here, if nums I is equals to nums, this is not JavaScript or TypeScript for doing a strict equality check. So if this is the case, then what I want to do is nums I will become nums I into 2, and nums I plus 1 will become 0. That's it. I think that's good. Then we gonna move all the zeros to the back. So for I in range, len nums again, and I think this time it doesn't matter, you know, we will move all zeros to the end. Now if nums I is not equal to 0, in that case I want to swap the values. So nums j and nums I, Python allows us to do it in the same line. We do the swapping by just assigning the values j to I and I to j. Sorry, yeah, so j is being placed ith value and I is being placed j's value. Alright, I think that's it. And just do not forget to increment j pointer, because if we are placing some value, we want to go ahead to the next pointer, and I could be somewhere else, or they could be pointing to the same value if they didn't come across any zeros. And in the end we can just return nums. And I think let's zoom out and test it on examples. I hope there is no issue. There is little happens time to time, but now it's all good. Let's submit it. It was an easy problem. Just, you know, these having too much instructions here does not make a problem complicated. I think what makes it just we thinking that, oh, if it has like so much shit going on here, then oh my god, the solution would be like way complicated. No, I think it just simply was asking us to do two operations, think of them as separately, and then do step by step. First was just to do the operations, and whenever two values came across as equal, then you make the first value twice its size and the next one 0. Let's write the time complexity of the solution. This is accepted, by the way. Yeah, okay, so time complexity, we're doing 2 pass, but still the time complexity is big of n because we are treating each element only once. And then space complexity is big of 1, that is constant because we're not using any extra space. All right, let's go back, and this is marked solved already, and see you guys in the next problem. Until then, bye bye.